There's my face, everyone. Everyone who doesn't exist at the moment. Uh, today, whoa! Hey, it started again. How do I stop this thing? All right, it's in the background. Got that intro music there. Now, before we start, yesterday or even maybe just a couple of hours ago, I had someone say, "Nathan, you don't need to have such a long intro." And you know what? I agree. Absolutely, I agree. However, this isn't a video at the moment. You're not watching something that I've scripted. You're not watching something that I've decided to publish for later on and just have some branding on it. It's basically a long intro exists, and I've seen it happen over and over for people who are just trying to gather the crowds. Now, of course, for me, it doesn't work exactly like that. But the way you do it is you have a little bit of an intro, sits there for 5 or 10 minutes maybe, while you guys go grab your coffee or your beer or whatever, especially if the YouTuber doesn't exactly have a steady stream time. Now it should have a steady stream time, or I should, and I don't, and for that I apologize. However, from right now, we're going to cover something, just a little something, basically off the cuff. I wasn't exactly preparing anything for this. There's three things I want to talk about. First, before we get into the Musk meat of this whole thing, I want to talk about, well, very quickly, the AirPods Pro. Obviously, TWS system from Apple that's really popular, came out, October last year. As you know, it can get you 100 meters down the road from the wire, from your iPhone, as long as you get Bluetooth 5. Pretty incredible. The sound, in my estimation, is not as good as the AirPods that it replaced. I think the original AirPods sound better. In fact, I think that the sorry about this, the earpods, if they've got a proper seat in the ear, they actually sound better. Why is that? I think the bass is a little bit better. However, these things are always in my ears for a whole bunch of reasons. They isolate a little bit better. They have, not natural, what is it called? Active noise canceling. They got all that. And because of that, they're always there. They're great for when you're doing some carpentry work. They're great for even when you want to do a walk and you just want to do one ear, something like that. This is, these are kind of harsh. These lights are kind of harsh. I put them over here. It's probably a little bit better. Let's just see here. Let's see if I can move these things. These are my hardcore, still harsh. That's not bad. It's not like you're looking at like a supermodel or anything like that. But yeah, these things are pretty decent earphones, but you don't buy them for the sound quality. Absolutely. And the other thing I want to mention about them is, if you notice, they got black tops. We'll be doing a review of these later on. This is what they're wearing right now is the Deconi, I think it's called Bullet. I always get these confused. Yeah, Deconi Bullets. They're soft sponge, high density, basically. High density, but also heat activated that you put in your ears. And they do a great job of forming themselves to your ear canal and giving a little bit extra, not just isolation, but they give a little bit better fit. It's tighter in the ear. One thing I had a problem with the stock tips from Apple is that the earphone would always kind of pop out a bit. I don't have that problem at all with the Deconi, and that's great. Does the sound get better? Well, it gets better in basically this sense. Because you don't have to worry that the earphone's popping in and out of your ear when you're using these Deconi tips, that makes you be able to use the earphone in places that you might not otherwise use it. So for that reason, yeah, the sound is better because you actually listen to the earphone a little bit more often, and in places that you probably wouldn't otherwise. These lights are just, they're really aggressive, but we're just going to do it today. I wanted to do blue in the background. Didn't really think about this. Like I said, stream of the cuff stream, or cuff of the stream, or cusp of the stream, whatever it is. But what I really wanted to talk about is actually, as you can tell, what is the title of this bloody thing? Something about Elon Musk doesn't care about your YouTube audiophile channel. And why is that? Well, there was a quick link that was put up in the Facebook group for HeadFi. Now, the Facebook group for HeadFi has 18,000 members. Lots of good chats that are going on there. I believe it's organized by HeadFi. I can't be exactly sure. But there's lots of good chats going on there. Lots of good links that are going out. Also links that are coming in. And good disagreements here, good agreements here. Elon Musk is not someone that I ever really followed much. I know that he's behind the company Tesla as well as SpaceX, and I just know the names. And apart from that, I have the pleasure of getting input about Elon Musk from two sources. One, a mate actually from HeadFi. His name's George Gill. George Gill, there's no way he's watching this, but he comments. In fact, I believe he said he laughed out loud to Dan Clark of Mr. Speaker's fame, comment about a joke in the Elon Musk thread that I don't understand. I wish I did. I don't. George Gill, I wish you would explain it to me. Dan Clark, I wish you would explain it to me. You guys know more about this dad joke that was literally about a dad. And Elon Musk, you know more about him. Now, the other thing, I'm in another thread that I'm basically a big George Gill fan. So George Gill, I wish you were listening to this because, dude, I'd be slobbering all over you from a distance, of course, from a safe distance. But yeah, I'm your fan, and I'm in a couple of different other forums that are unrelated to headphones with him. And one thing I know about this guy, he's got a good sense of humor. He's also a pretty clever cookie. And one thing he mentioned to me about Musk was he didn't trust the guy, or he didn't think he was a very good role model for either capitalism or something like that. I was like, I don't know. But got me thinking. And the other input that I have about Elon Musk is from a conspiracy channel called Quantum of Conscience. Now, I probably shouldn't call it conspiracy channels, a truth channel, something like that. So basically, my two inputs about Elon Musk are George Gill, an honest to God, clever liberal, and Matt, this guy named Matt from Quantum of Conscience. But today, Elon Musk, at least in the HeadFi world, is in the news, and this is pretty good stuff here. Oh shoot, how do I do this? I gotta figure this out. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna stop the screen share here, and we're gonna go over and look at an article that's up at what's the website called? It's independent.co.uk. They've got a small video, and they've got a little write-up about why, or at least the thing that the HeadFi people at Facebook think that we should be thinking about as headphone lovers. And what is that thing? It's called the Neuralink. All right, it's a Neuralink chip. Now let's bring that thing right up here. Share our screen, Chrome tab, share audio, because there is a little. Wait, that's not it. Right there. This should be it. Okay, we're gonna go down here, and hopefully no one's gonna come into my room. All right, check this out, guys. Lower the volume just a bit because it was pretty insane before. So I guess this is them just showing what it might look like. Whoa. Getting a bit of feedback here. Whoa, I don't know. It's got all these like do forward stuff like that. But yeah, here's kind of interesting. Obviously, this chip would be directly somehow interfacing with the brain, so you don't need earphones, headphones, or speakers anymore to hear your music. He also said that Neuralink could help control hormone levels and use them to our advantage. Interesting. Imagine you got like this really good album, or perhaps you're in love, and there's this piece of music, and you want to just gel with your mate in a special, better way. And how do you do it? You cue up that album, and maybe you ask Mr. Musk's company to just give you a little bit more hormone levels that might bring out your musk just a little bit more, and there you are. It's the best love you've ever made. All right, let's go back to the video. Well, that was it. How to go back? That was it. That was the video. But on the article portion of this video, let's see if we still got everything coming up. All right, let's read it. Elon Musk's mysterious Neuralink startup is working on a brain-computer interface that will allow wearers to stream music directly to their brain, the technology entrepreneur has claimed. Mr. Musk, who also heads SpaceX and Tesla, is set to reveal new information about the mysterious startup next month, but has been slowly releasing details over Twitter in the recent days. Now, we're not going to go to the Twitter. I'll tell you why. I don't really know how to use Twitter. Don't want to screw up the stream any more than I have to. That's 21 hours ago. So next month will be August. We'll be hearing some more about this. Responding to computer scientist Austin Howard, Mr. Musk confirmed that Neuralink's technology would allow people to listen to music directly from our chips. Now, obviously, that's going to affect us headphone users more than anyone else. And why is that? Well, that is because the things that we enjoy music from at the moment are speakers, headphones, earphones, and that sort of thing. As well as, there are some bone conducting headphones and stuff like that, but they all operate on similar principles where you're vibrating some sort of medium, and that medium then transfers the music to your ears or to some sort of audio nerve, something like that. But this thing would go straight to the brain. Now, I don't think anyone in the headphone world is like, oh, I just got to change to that. Although there could be some. What I find interesting, if this thing becomes a thing in our lifetime, something that normal people can afford and that makes sense for people to buy, I personally am not behind it. I wonder how, how at the moment you got these reviewers, I've reviewed some headphones here and there. Kura Wong reviews a whole bunch. You got John Darko, JD, Big JD. He does his stuff. A lot of really good quality content coming from these channels. And one thing that a lot of people that look at reviews, either written or on the news, big channels like Steve Gutenberg, I think that's his name, or on Headfire, something like that. People are always like, are they objective? And what is that reviewer listening for? What's important to them so that when I read this review, I'll know what they prioritize in order that I can sort of gauge how I will react to the same product. Well, if this thing's going straight to the brain, I think it's actually a little bit more. Martin, thanks for getting a coffee. It's kind of actually pretty interesting because you're never going to get rid of the subjective element. Even if with the chip's going straight to your brain, you're still going to have, who knows, maybe you're going to have more elements that will then be used as sort of subjective, what's the word, media, filters, whatever, because you're no longer going through a transducer that basically then goes straight into the ears, and then maybe your hearing or just your preferences. It's going to go straight to your brain, and if it actually can affect your hormones more directly, as is shown in that quick video, well, I think we actually have a greater chance for this product, this technology, to bring in the subjective element. Now, of course, if you're reviewing this thing, you're not going to be reviewing like you do review a headphone. Absolutely not, because it's going straight into your brain. And you're not going to be like, well, this thing doesn't have enough bass or whatever. Because I guess the idea would be that it would transfer whatever on the recording straight to your brain, and then your brain, your hormones, all that would pick up everything else, and then your responses to it would either empower the music or disempower it, something like that. Very interesting. However, I don't think that it's where the regular headphone people are going to go. And what I mean by the regular headphone people are the people that spend money on headphones. One of the things that we really like, and this is completely obvious, is not only to find our sound, something that we like, but we really, really, really are. We have a fixation on the oral, or not the oral, but the aural, or however you say it. We like our ears. We're really interested in the ear. There's the music element is really important. Obviously, you and me like our music. We have specific reasons why we like it, either the emotional bit or that good guitar riff that we really like. If it's a Martin's case, it's like how low the bass goes on Massive Attack, something like that. We all have these reasons that we like our music, but that stuff could, I guess, if this technology took over for the regular person who has now gone from wired headphones of various types, usually just the pack-in ones, it could be, again, if this thing is actually implanted to your brain, it's not going to be regular for a very long time, and I don't want it to be regular. However, this is sort of that push for transhumanism. So you're going to get the regular person who might have devices planted in their brain already. They might have an interface. They're gonna go for it, because for them, and they're right about this, it's always how easy a technology is to interface with and use that makes it most important in sort of adoption. Now, of course, the price and all that is also massively important, but basically ease of use, ease of adoption, and how well it makes sense within the sort of cultural, societal milieu or zeitgeist or whatever, that's what's going to make it work on the market and just bring up its adoptions. Now, let's go to the next paragraph. Speaking at the 2019 event, Mr. Musk said the firm was working on a sewing machine-like device that would provide a direct connection between the computer and a chip inserted within the... I haven't read this, by the way. So what are you going to sell? So here's my question. Are they going to sell the sewing machine device and you're just going to like put your head down on the table? Maybe like, honey, I'd like to take up my jeans by about a centimeter. Make sure there's kind of a double seam around it because the last ones they came undone, or be like, take them down. Oh, and can you sew this thing right behind my ear? Interesting. I not sure how that's going to work out for clothes stuff. The technology would first be used to help people suffering from brain diseases like Parkinson's, but the ultimate aim of Neuralink is to allow humans to compete with advanced artificial intelligence, he said. The process of having a chip fitted will be similar to LASIK eye surgery, according to Mr. Musk. Except, of course, because it's a sewing machine, you'll just ask your wife to do it. I think that's a good way to interpret it. That. And then we got some pictures here. Ooh, Neuralink threads look like human brains. Hook human brains directly to computers. By the way, I'm a little bit dyslexic, so it's hard for me to read properly on. That's one of the reasons I don't have a lot of reviews on this channel. It takes me forever to read anything. All right. Got some pictures. Check it out. Oh, it's the same picture. Tiny little chip. There we are. All right there. That's what would perhaps eventually replace headphones. Now, it's not going to happen in 2025. It's not going to happen in 2030. Probably happen by the time whatever that UN plan 2030 is in place. After that, you'll have something like that when we're all, just super consumers, got nothing else to live for. So, yeah, be a perfect time. Then how do you hit the X here? Going down. One part of it will involve a neurosurgical robot which fits flexible threads into the brain, connected to a tiny implantable computer chip. A research paper detailing the device claims that a single USB-C cable will provide full bandwidth data streaming to the brain. USB-C. You know what this kind of reminds me of? One of my favorite science fiction trilogies or series of all time. It's not a trilogy anymore. There's like 6 books in it. The first 3 were good. Is Foundation by Isaac Asimov. And as the series went on, remember it was the last or second last book in the series. This is supposed to be 30,000 years in the future. These people were still using the CD, or they found a CD and used it. And it's like, I think you're being a little bit optimistic about whether USB-C will be used in, say, 10 years or 15 years, whenever this technology is ready, or CD in 30,000 years. A research paper detailing device claims that a single... Oh, right, got that. Neuralink has 11 job postings listed on its website, offering roles from a mechanical engineer, a robotics software engineer, and a histology technician. Let's look up that word. I don't know what that means. Histology. The study of the microscope structure of... Gotta hit more. Tissues. We can just do that. Take out a tissue after you sneeze or whatever. Before you sneeze, probably a good idea, and just take it under the microscope. I don't know why they need a... We got this covered. Over the weekend, Mr. Musk made a request for people with specific expertise in wearables. If you solved hard problems with phones, wearables, sealing, signal processing, inductive charging, power management, etc., please consider working at Neuralink, he tweeted. Earlier this month, Mr. Musk hinted that Neuralink's chip will be able to cure depression and addiction by retraining the parts of the brain responsible for these afflictions. That's rubbish. Trials have already been carried out on animals, and human trials were originally scheduled to take place this year, though details are yet to be made public. More information is set to be announced on 28 August. Next month, as I said. So a month and 6 days from now, or a month and 7 days as of yesterday when this news went public on this website, I guess, or on his Twitter. Now, I don't really have anything more to say about the headphone element of this, but right there, cure depression and addiction. In order to cure something, you have to know what ails you. And I don't think that just fixing symptoms is going to fix depression and addiction. You can close off the sort of the elements. You can close off, sensitivity to the elements to certain elements that kind of exacerbate the problem. But you're not going to cure depression and addiction by retraining the parts of the brain responsible for these afflictions. That's so high level. That's one of the things. I don't want to get off topic, man, but it's one of the things I really dislike about modernity. It's always like, we're going to attack this thing. Like, let's say the problem's down here. And they're never aiming for the problem here. They never want to address this problem. They always want to address the symptoms that are way up here that they can kind of understand. But if they addressed this one, they realize that they'd basically be having to dismantle, as far as I'm concerned, modernity. So, yeah, no, they're gonna go high level stuff and create a whole bunch of problems in the way, in the meantime. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, anyway, it's a pretty cool idea, at least from a scientific or science fiction element, or like slant. And why? Because I mean, this is the sort of thing we've been reading about forever. It's Matrix. It's the only one I could think about at the moment. But it's Matrix, a whole bunch of other stuff. The scientific people, science fiction people, all those people have been talking about this sort of thing for years. And it's certainly something that even the regular person knows, at least in the lingo of transhumanism. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, it's going to be short. And this is linking back to the Musk thing, but from a different angle. And that is, we're going to go over to HeadFi here. Let's see here. We're going to stop the screen. We're going to share a different screen. Chrome tab, HeadFi. All right. Okay, so this is the top of my screen, I guess. Probably can't get rid of that. You guys doxed myself. All right, this is done by a dude by the name of Rooney Duda. Conversation. He started this conversation about 5 days ago. Interesting conversation. Well worth the look. Check it out. Who is your favorite headphone reviewer on YouTube? A very simple question that now has 147 comments. And interestingly, there's a theme here that's really easy to suss. Really easy to suss. And I think we'll see this. So we're just going to go. We're not going to read everything. Just look it over very quickly. I can't read the first guy's name, but the first comment says, Joshua Veller is kind of neat. His videos are informative and to the point. 10 likes. Joshua Veller, if you guys have not looked at this guy, let's Joshua Valor. Okay. We're going to go to Joshua Valor YouTube. We're just going to put his link into the channel. He's got 56. I was following him back when I think he had, 11,000, something like that, which actually wasn't that long ago. This is Joshua Veller's. That is Joshua Valor YouTube channel. Really, really high production value. Like, I would say that the stuff that he was doing a year or two ago would be on the level, maybe 2 years ago, roughly when he started, maybe 3 years ago. The best stuff I've ever done, ever, almost equates what he was doing about. Wait, I wonder if I can. We'll just stay on this anyway. Roughly equates to what he was doing, 3 years ago. My best stuff ever. This guy, his photography is brilliant. The way he transitions his scenes, so he'll be sitting there listening to music, then he'd be talking about a headphone. All the scenes are great. The way he edits the movements, everything is incredible. And what he mentions about the headphones, the things that he's worried about, how it feels, how you interact with like things like cable taking apart from the headphone, how it feels on the ears, all this stuff. He covers all the bases. His videos aren't too long, and they're just great. So I also will hit like. He's awesome. Then the next one, Joshua Valor. Go down. Z Reviews, Zeos, Z Reviews. I don't know who this is, but some other people are talking about this guy. Also interesting here, Bad Guy, Good Audio Reviews. Now this is, this person has like a smiley or a laughing face underneath. Bad Guy, Good Audio Reviews is, I think he's an American reviewer, also in Japan. He may be one of the people that Kura Wong considers a bit on the toxic side or whatever. He's definitely one of the people that looks he's looking kind of, maybe not for a fight, but he's looking for discussion in a sort of combative way, in a bilious way. So he's an interesting character. I don't know his relation to Headfi at the moment. I've never seen him on this part here. I have commented on his threads at the actual headfi.com or .org website, and have been in discussion with him a couple of times. But he's an interesting character who's basically the extreme opposite of Joshua Valeur. Low production value, a lot of very sort of close, intimate conversations that you may or may like, you may or may think is objective or realistic or good. But he's an interesting one to show right below Joshua Valeur. And why I think this is interesting is Joshua Valeur, I think he's great from the ground up. Everything from design to everything that he's saying, it's just the perfect headphone channel. And he's very relatable. And I think that the casual person from outside of Headfi would also, if they're looking for headphones, if they came across his channel, they'd be like, whoa, okay, this guy, he presents himself as someone you can trust, and I believe he is. And it's easy to just go straight to his content, and from the outside world, be like, okay, I'm going to trust this guy. Very easy. Whereas Good Guy, Bad Audio Reviewer, or whatever he's called, how do they what's the word? They shorten it. They go BBGA. BBGGA. He's the exact opposite. Like I said, low production value, lots of really, really sort of crazy, perhaps slightly toxic opinions all over the place. But he's bilious. And the two couldn't be farther. He doesn't show his face. He shows his hands, kind of. It's just different. It's very interesting. Then we got another vote for Nick Zios. Then this guy's like casual. Is it funny to be casual? I don't know. Joshua Valeur, another 2 votes for that. Joshua Valeur again. Wheezy Review, Sound News. I've not heard about that. Zios, that's another one for Zios. It's like 3 or 4 for Zios. Sam, I don't know who that is. Then we got my man, or our boy, Kura Wong. Was on his channel one time 2 or 3 years ago. Thank you very much, Amos. What I like about Amos is he doesn't have the production value. No one has a production value of Joshua Valeur, but he's very quick to the point. He remembers things almost like he's an elephant. He remembers all the specs from this thing and this thing, and he can basically weave them into a coherent conversation on the spot. I think he's probably the best I've seen for that. Definitely one of the more believable and more easily to relate from sort of just like an objective, like almost like a stats sheet perspective. If you want to just get to the meat and you want to be able to compare things back and forth, Amos or Kura Wong is a great one to do. You got another vote for him here. Breaks things down nicely. Olive, I don't know who this guy is. I almost wonder if he's not the guy from Touch My Apps, but we did have an Olive. No More Jim's Reviews, don't know who that is. Joshua makes beautiful content. Yeah, another one for him. Portify, I don't know who that is. Inner Fidelity, yeah, obviously. I don't think he's doing much now, but awesome. We got some more votes for Kura Wong. And interestingly enough, we have votes for Kura Wong and BGGA from the same person. Why I find this interesting is because I think it's very obvious that I could be wrong. I don't think Amos and BGGA get on very well, and their personality types basically clash from the very start. So that's interesting. But we got basically, how I can put it this way, we have basically 3 types of personalities that really come across. Now, if we go down, we can find there's some people who are really also sort of voting for the other guy that I really like, John Darko. The tallest reviewer, by the way. He's also extremely relatable. His content doesn't have the insane production value of Joshua Valeur, but he's always got you in a very comfortable setting, and you're ready to talk about anything, whether it's high end, low end, or something that's going to help you enjoy your audio world much more easily and much better. And that would be anything from wireless to DACs to USB audio to anything like that. So Darko is probably relatable. He's not relatable into the production effect value like from Joshua Valeur, but he's relatable from he can just take anyone into the subject almost like you're talking to someone, maybe you've never met him, but you're talking to someone you've known for years. That's the feeling it really comes across. So that comes across. But basically, if you were to look at the three people that are most often recommended, and that again is Joshua Valeur, Kura Wong, and it looks like BGGA, or it could be maybe Olive, I don't know. But there's actually a lot, which is pretty surprising for me, for Bad Guy Good Audio Review. You have the bilious person that's attracting quite a bit of attention, but not as much as the other ones. You have the person in the middle who's not bilious, but who has very good and pointed sort of things to say, both about objects as well as people. And he's very honest about what he thinks is good and bad, and that would be Kura Wong. And he's also very good. If you're coming from the outside, you want to just be able to very quickly link and parse information. Awesome guy. And then you have Joshua Valeur, who he's not as approachable as somebody like John Darko, but his production value basically takes you right in, and you're like, I'm probably watching a millionaire YouTuber. That's what it feels like, except that his information is quick, succinct, gets to the meat of things, and he's not all just about sound. He brings in the important things like fit, haptics, and all that sort of thing that really makes something worthwhile in the long run to use. But very interesting that those three are often recommended from all these people. Yeah, I mean, and the number of people that do recommend BGGA are way fewer, of course, than Kura Wong. But it's really surprising how many times BGGA comes up. Yeah, here's another one. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's what I have to say today. I just want to do a very quick sort of thread while my loved ones are in the shower. And for any of you guys who doesn't look like there's anyone here, but if anyone's out there who's actually hiding, and I don't know if you can do that, who wants to just cast a comment my way or whatever, please do. Otherwise, I'm going to take my what is this, bourbon back downstairs. Right at the end. I just did wanted to pump a little bit of music into the channel very quickly. Don't tell. I'm not sure I should be doing this. It's not published yet. Not published. Doesn't. Just a couple of seconds. My mate, the guy that is behind the electronic pop band called Frederick, he has a new project. I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds of this. From, by the way, we're doing this from mini disc here, from the AMF 80. Oh, too loud. I don't know. I don't. Oh, wait. I'm hoping you guys can hear this. If you can, just say it right in the channel. But some good stuff, man, that's coming up. I don't know if it's coming up in the next couple of months or it's going to come up perhaps next year. But his new project, I believe, is called Tessit. And he's looking into possibly printing this on the mini disc, but it's good. It's really good. We have the melodic atmosphere of some of FX Twin's, older stuff, but we got drum and bass and everything else. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, I don't want this to give everything away here, but awesome stuff. Definitely want to leave you with just a couple of seconds of this, and then I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys very much. That's going to do us for today, unless anyone has any questions. We had two people in here for a second ago, but it looks like they're gone. So we're going to turn that off, and we're going to put on our outro, and we'll see you guys later. If I can, I'll be doing some more other streaming stuff. Try to do it around this time, every maybe 3-4 times a week. All right. See you guys. Thank you very much for paying attention. Were you gonna wait? How do I do this? How do I do it? Gotta go back. All right, go back. Always get trapped at this part here. All right, guys. That was a very, very long outro, but I'll see you guys later. Thank you.